So Shonda Rhimes said she's on a mission. She's on a mission to show us why we loved Scandal so much. And the show actually flashes forward with Sally Landers, whatever her damn name is. Sally with her damn show, Liberty Bell, the Liberty Report. I love to hate her. I really do. But she's just talking about how the country is essentially going to crap and how the politicians aren't doing much of anything and they're just holding that power, but they're not doing enough to make a real impact. And I'm paraphrasing. And so it's very odd. We go, because this is 6 months later after Olivia went and left Fitz. And Olivia's getting a lot of love. Her reputation is back in good standing. Not only that, she's more popular than ever. So everything's great. And she even has a relationship with her father, Papa Pope. And I'm looking at this like, wait a minute. What did we miss? Shonda, stop playing with us. What are we not seeing right now? Because there is no way that the Olivia Pope that we know would have a relationship with her father at this point in time because of all of the shenanigans that he did. So there must have been something that I might have missed at the end of last season, or they're bringing up later, because this was just so awkward. I mean, she looked genuinely happy to be there. Really, genuinely happy to be there. And so he was just like, damn, what the hell's wrong with you? You were in the Oval. My baby was in the Oval. You were running things. I know the truth. Why did you leave? What went wrong? Why would you give all that up? What is wrong with you? She was just like, I know you wanted it. So what made things different? She was like, I tried to be the first lady. I really tried to be the first lady. But I'm not going to be someone's prisoner. And you already knew that. You already knew that no one can hold your little girl down. No one could put me in a box and control me. I am the person who controls things. You knew that I would want my freedom, that I would resent him. And Papa Pope was just like, ah, ha, ha. See, I knew my girl. I miss you, baby girl. I miss you so much. And so he's basically like, so when are you going to come over to the house? She's like, why don't you come over to the house? Is he going to be there? We already knew who it's going to be. Drake. Jake. Is Jake going to be there? Is Jake going to be there? And the answer is yes. Why is Jake there? Because Jake wants somewhere to belong. And he's still sleeping with Olivia. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. Because what's the point? And just to prove it, he comes to Olivia's apartment. And she's like, not tonight. Not today. Not tomorrow. You got to go. And at first I was like, wait a minute. Is this really happening? Is this a whole new scandal where Olivia doesn't get hot in the pants and just sleeps with Jake or Fitz? Well, definitely not Fitz, but because it was an abortion, that is what she had. Just in case you guys are wondering if it was truly an abortion or not. Some people didn't think it was, but it was. Aside from that, she goes and sleeps with Jake. I want to call him Drake so bad. And you have Sally in the background talking, and I'm just muting her out. I'm like, oh, I need Rosetta Stone for English, for old lady English, for conservative old lady English. And poor Abby. This whole episode, you see Abby turn into Fitz's work wife. And we all know what that is. Whenever you're at a job and it's a lot of responsibility and you're there for a while, you normally assimilate certain roles that that a spouse would. Everything up to sexually, really, is what you assimilate. And some people do, others don't. But that's what Abby's having to deal with. Because Fitz is alone. He's lonely and he's alone. And he has no one. He has no one. So Olivia was the last person that he really had. And now she's gone. So he's trying to fill that void. He doesn't truly trust Cyrus the same way he used to trust Cyrus. So now it's Red's turn. She's not too happy about that. So Huck goes, knocks on Olivia's door, and I'm like, why the hell is Huck there? And he was like, why aren't you opening the door? Is someone there? What's going on? Why don't you open the door? And she was like, look, I was in the middle of something. What's going on? It's like, why didn't you just call me? He's like, well, I can't call you. Why couldn't you call me? Well, this is a situation that I couldn't say because the NSA are listening to everything, the phone calls and everything. It's like, okay, so who is it? What's going on? It's like, someone with the NSA? Not someone, the someone. It's like, what do you mean the someone? The head of the NSA. Yeah, she wants you to represent her. And they go over her accomplishments, and she's basically just a boss, really. She was a trailblazer, an absolute boss, HBIC, you name it, that's the title. She earned it. Now, here's the thing. She's supposed to be have extraordinary, extraordinary security. And she does. And it's not hackable. Well, everything's hackable. Well, for the sake of the show, it wasn't hackable. So they're trying to figure out, how the hell did someone hack into her computer and steal her files? I mean, you guys are going to flip out when you find out who did it. Oh, that's why I was like, damn, Shonda is back. Shonda is back. Scandal is back. Shonda didn't go anywhere, but Scandal went somewhere. It veered off the road for a while, but it is back on that. It's back on track. It's back on track. So we have her, and she's just like, you guys need to figure this out. And they were like, oh yeah, it's definitely the boyfriend. It's definitely the boyfriend. Oh yeah, and he's in security as well. And she was like, no, I don't care how much in love I was or how much I like the person. I vetted him. I used the same security stuff that someone used on me to go and learn everything that I needed to learn about him. That's what I did. So I know it wasn't him. So you're not going to convince me that it was him. And Olivia's just like, yeah, I don't care what she's saying. I know it was him. I know it was him. So we're going to go and find him and figure out what is going on. That's the angle that we're going to work with, because that's the logical one. We're not going to go based off of emotion or how she feels. We're not doing that today. We're not doing that tomorrow. So Cyrus goes and talks to Olivia, because he's just like, look, Red is becoming his work wife, and I need to know if she can handle it. Can she handle the responsibility? Because I can't do it anymore. And he needs someone. Fitz needs someone. You know that. Millie is out there waiting for Olivia. And Olivia's just like, why the hell is Millie there? Because remember, Millie was like, look, I'm doing this for you so that you can make me president. You're making me president whether you want to or not. And so she was like, all right, let's make you president. Millie's putting out a book. She's putting out a book about her life, and she wants Olivia to read it. Olivia's just like, no. So Abby's talking with this reporter, and this reporter is speaking to her because he's trying to figure out how the hell is she not giving him more airtime as far as taking some of his questions, because, you know, he has to meet his quota. He needs to be able to have a tagline, an exclusive, so that he can write about it. And so he goes and tells her about the NSA situation, and that their files are out there because I think the Associated Press, and it's compromised. And so she plays it off. I mean, she was a boss for this, because she played it off as if, yeah, I know about that. What are you talking about? Come back to me when you have something juicy. That's nothing. That's light. I learned that over breakfast. Teas and crumpets. But she goes and runs to the president's office, and it's just like, what? No, she runs into her own office. It's like, how the hell did I not know about this? Everyone, give me files. Hurry up. And then she goes to the president. She's like, look, we have a situation. We have a situation. He's just like, okay, so what are you going to do about it? What's your plan? And I'm like, what the hell? See, this is why Fitz needs to get out of office, because Fitz didn't do anything. The people around him did stuff, and it's very apparent now. It's very apparent now. It's just like, okay, do everything for me, package it all up, I'll read it and sign off on it. That's Fitz. With the exception of the stuff for his son, everything else, he was pretty much hands off. And I was just over it. And so Abby goes and tries to talk to Olivia to try and see if Olivia knows anything. And Olivia's just like, oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay, bye. Love you too. Smooches. Toodles. It's like, this is the whistleblower. This is the whistleblower. This is the name. Because Abby mentions a name, so that's what they're going to go off on. And so Jake is just saying how, so what's going on? How are you feeling? To Fitz. And he was like, have you seen her? Have you talked to her? And he was like, no. And so Fitz asked Jake, have you seen her? Have you talked to her? And he was just like, no. And I'm like, okay, Jake. Okay, Jake. Jake. What are we going to do with Jake? Side note, even though I have Tidal and I love Tidal and I have Samsung Galaxy and all that, shout out to these Apple commercials with Taraji P. Henson, Mary J. Blige, and what's her, Kerry Washington, because I love them. I love them so much. The commercials and the women in the commercials. So it's just like, this is brilliant. And like I said, Abby's still dealing with the president not leaving her alone. She's not getting any sleep. So she goes and she vents to Cyrus. And that's when Cyrus breaks it to her that she is the president's work wife. And Quinn goes to the apartment of the guy who is supposed to be the whistleblower or whatever. And the apartment's empty. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. And of course Huck was really trying to get Harrison's replacement, I forgot his name, Harrison's replacement not to go. And we later find out why. Huck is just saying, you know what? He's normal. And regardless of what he wants to do, we're not going to hang out with him. We're not going to become friends with him because here's the situation. We cannot have him be one of us. He's a regular person. He's a good person. We're not. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And it's just like, yeah, and so sorry about that. I don't know why the video stopped. But, yeah, so Jake is at the apartment and they're trying to figure out why is he there. Jake makes up some basic ass excuse and Olivia goes and talks to him. It's like, why are you intervening? Why are you crouching on my territory? What do you know that you're not telling me? And Jake is pretty much mum's to word. And so Olivia goes and sits with the girls like, look, you know what? We're just going to have to figure out a different angle because you're going to have to step down. At this point, the information is going to come out. So we need to get ahead of this by you stepping down. And that's that. We can't find him. It looks like he skipped out. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. So, you have Abby going to Olivia, and Abby's still pretending that, what's-his-face is sick, her guy's sick, just so that she can get out of the president pestering her as much, even though he's still doing it anyway. But Abby was like, you know I wouldn't come empty-handed. Here's the alcohol. And so she's just like, oh, this is so amazing. This is what I needed. This is what I needed. This is what I needed. It's like, I just don't know. I just don't know if I can do it. I think I might want to quit. I really think I might want to quit. But if I do that, I'll be giving up the White House and the presidency. And Olivia's like, don't quit, Abby. You can do it. You can do it. It's going to be hard, but you're just going to have to take over that role. Fitz has no one. And Abby's like, oh, yeah, I actually feel bad now for complaining about him. But that's how it happens sometimes. So you have, what's-her-face, Quinn, in bed with her guy. And he keeps talking, and Quinn's irritated because she's trying to get some damn rest. But then he says something interesting about the whistleblower. And that makes Quinn think, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something is off here. But aside from that, you have Olivia who, she realizes that she's screwed. She's screwed and she has nowhere else to turn. So she goes and always does her backup plan. Call the president. Yeah, Miss Pope, I'm sorry, but the president can't speak with you right now. Boom! Olivia got slapped in the face. Reality slapped her in the face, woke her up, and made her realize you are not a part of the White House anymore. And so you do not get the perks of having the president's ear. And you're going to have to accept that. You're going to have to accept that. And Jake's still trying to make their relationship bigger than what it is. Olivia's just like, you know what? Yeah, so Quinn's trying... Yeah, so Olivia's just like, yeah, we cool, we buddies, we spookoons, that's it. Quinn tries to figure out how she's going to hack into the, hack into the place so that she can go and see who the hell did it, where is this person, and where are the files, but the security is really tight. So he's like, wait a minute, why don't you just do the same thing they did to her, which is directly go and hack into them. This looks like, see, you are good for something. What's her name? Red, she went and told Fitz off. She was just like, look, Fitz, I cannot be your work wife. I cannot go and just be awake 24/7 doing what you want, doing what you ask. Heck, most of the stuff that I say I've read, I haven't read because I'm not this person, I'm not that person, I'm not that person. I'm me. I'm me. That's all who I can be. Olivia talks and he accepts it. He was just like, okay, Abby. You're not Red anymore, you Abby. So, Olivia is trying to ponder what the hell she's going to do because the client is like, look, are you going to call the president or what? Because we all know that's what Olivia's good for. We all know that's how she's gotten out of trouble so many times. She doesn't have that option. And so she admits it to the client. It was just like, look, so I know they have a list of people that they're going to replace you with. We're going to figure out who it is. I'll make sure you know. And she's like, no, I already know who it is. And all that. It's just like, damn, you really are out of the loop. And so Olivia's just like, oh, crap. So Quinn comes to her and says, it's not Billy. It absolutely wasn't Billy. And I can prove it because I hacked in and there was some voice scrambling going on. And the cadences and just his speech patterns didn't match up. So we need to go back to the apartment and see what's really going on. And so then Olivia's also trying to figure out why the hell was Jake there. And Fitz is giving this amazing speech big upping this security guy who's going to be the head of the NSA. And I'm like, wait a minute. This sounds like Jake. This sounds like Jake's credentials. Close friend. Served closely with him. Secure. Oh, no, it's Jake. So they go to the apartment and the girl's boyfriend is dead. He is dead. And they're all trying to figure out, oh no, that's why Jake was at the apartment. Because he killed the guy. He killed the guy. And he had no qualms doing it. He had no qualms doing it. And now he's in charge. I'm like, this is Papa Pope. This has Papa Pope written all over it. Papa Pope is like, you know what? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, shame on you. And yes, I said it correctly. And Papa Pope takes no prisoners. So now he has Jake in a position of power. And that's why Jake is still there. Olivia finally shows up to his house. And he was like, oh, what's you doing, baby girl? And so she was just like, why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? What's going on? And he was just like, you know what? This is how it is, Olivia. You always thought you were in control. You were never in control. And this is why I am Papa Pope. And you're on the side of justice and what you call justice. But my justice is getting revenge on the president. He will be taken down one way or the other. And this is the exact way I'm going to do it. I've enacted this. I've enacted that. Bite me. Bite me. And like I said, Abby stood up to the president and he accepted it. Cyrus is just like, ah! It's like, okay, shut up, Red. You've been talking too much. But good job, girl. I knew you had it in you. It finally happened. Again, Huck doesn't want, what's his name, to be a part of their group because he's actually normal. And Olivia tells Melly that her book sucks. It's boring. There's nothing special about it. But you need to talk about the... this will be #1, do big numbers for 1 week, and it'll fall off the charts. You need to talk about your actual life experiences, all the gritty, dirty stuff, including me, everything. Put it in that book. You want to be president? She's like, yes, I want to be president. Then I'm going to make you president. Come back tomorrow. We're going to be put you in the office. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Come back next week.